Let's do it now.
Turn up the volume nice and loud. Cause we are controlling transmission with dance beats and R&B. 1, 3. You're in the mix with Lil Drummer Girl. With your host, Dawn Marie. In the mix.
Today's guest is Raleigh Pinskey. She's the president and founder of the Raleigh Group, specializing in putting your name and product in front of your target market over and over again. She helps you create a brand platform for wealth, abundance, financial freedom, and a success to path for achieving your goals. Raleigh is often called upon by the media to talk media talk. She has shared the speaker platform with Jack Canfield, Robert Allen, James Malinchak, Dan Kennedy, just to name a few. She has given talks in Mexico, Dubai, Amsterdam, Canada, and Paris, and of course, all over the USA. And her client history includes the first Chicken Soup for the Soul book, performers like Sting, McCartney, Kiss, Blondie, and Herbie Mann, the 5,000 Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley doll, soap opera and Broadway stars, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, and not-for-profit organizations, including the Bronx Zoo's A Great Snake Named Jake. Raleigh is the author of the Creating Gratitude Life Enrichment Series, as well as the international best-selling business books, The Zen of Hype, You Can Hype Anything, and 101 Ways to Promote Yourself, which has over 150,000 in print and is published in several languages. So without further ado, let's welcome Raleigh. How you doing, Raleigh?
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you asking me to be on this wonderful call.
Well, I have been a fan of yours since I saw you live back in '96 at that women's conference in Newport, California, and your talk changed my life. It really did, as far as a publicity portion was concerned. You had my brain going in a million different ways that I heard you talk. I was like, oh, I could do this and I could do that, and that sounds great. I mean, that book, I still use it as my Bible. It's phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Makes me feel better.
Well, thank you for all the hard work that you put into that book, because I'm sure with all of the information in there, it took a while to get that together.
Yeah, it took me, it's 409 pages of really specific information. What I like about the book, and although it's mine, what I like about it is the Q&A. The whole book is Q&A. So you get to ask the question to yourself as you read it, and then you get an answer immediately. Now, some of the chapters, as you know, are out of date since 1996, but for the most part, and that's only, I think, about 6 of the chapters, but for the most part, it really rings true, and I even still use it.
It really is amazing. And I think I picked up one of because they were selling some cassettes. Yes, I'm aging myself there, cassettes. I had picked up after the conference because I had to drive from California over to Vegas for another portion of a trip that I was doing. And I remember just driving through the Mojave Desert listening to you with some of the talks that you did that weekend. And it was like I came up with this idea, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, I got to run with this. And I went as far as really, like, there was a trademark thing trying to implement a new, it was a sleeve for a neck brace that I had to wear, which, you know, nobody likes wearing a neck brace. It's very, it's just not pretty. And I remember people, I told the story before, but people look at me and I would always feel like, oh, you know, thinking I'm a fraud or something like that, because they're like, oh, sure, you know. But so I try to come up with a sleeve idea, and your talk really inspired me to just think out of the box. Yeah, so I love that you say that you have about 6 seconds now to actually pitch to the media. Can you tell us what that entails?
Yes, I can. And the thing is called keywords. How's that one for you? There was a silence. And you know what? If you look at what just happened, the keywords and the silence, that meant that if you had a keyword, you just that whole outline right there. You wouldn't have had to go on any further. How's that one for you? So
okay, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, here's what we're talking about. Many times, more times than not, how's that one? People, when they write a headline, do you know the term verbose? Do you know that word, verbose?
Yes.
It means overly talkative. So here you have people who they don't actually think about it until you say keywords, and then they go, oh, I don't have to prep in the line. I don't have to say, hi, I'd like to, this is Raleigh Pinskey saying this. None of that. What is it that you are talking about? That's all they want to know. So that's what keywords are. Now, keywords can be one word, can be two words, can be a phrase of 3 to 5 words, but no more than that. And it zeroes right in to what you want to tell them, what you want them to do or be or say. Think about it.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely, cutthroat. It's right there. So give me an example of what you might write for a headline. Now that you heard what I said, it's going to be a little more difficult. But just try. Just tell me what you might say for a headline.
Well, I just did a blog, 10 tips to lose 10 pounds in 10 days.
Ooh, love it. Number one, let me interrupt you, which you shouldn't do, but the 10 tips, really good. I would take off the tips because we all know that they're tips now. Basically, I would if you have a short thing to say, it would be 10 what? 10 what? Not tips, but
10 ways.
10 ways, 10 tips. But what comes after the 10 tips and 10 ways?
To lose 10 pounds.
To lose 10 pounds. Okay. So here's the question. The keywords are lose 10 pounds, right?
Right.
Okay. So 10 tips are very important. I would put them at the end, maybe. Look at that. Lose 10 pounds with 10 tips. Lose 10 pounds dash 10 tips.
And how do you fit into 10 days?
Oh, you put another dash. 10 days, 10 tips. 10 tips for 10 days. Or lose 10 pounds, 10 days, 10 tips.
You mentioned, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It looks choppy. But that's where people are today. They're like this. They don't want any adjectives. They don't want any connectives. So the dash becomes the connectives. If you want to do 10, the 10 tips, everybody's done 10 tips. Oh, right. 10 tips, more tips. That's why lose weight immediately. 10 tips, 10 days.
Sounds good.
It's different, but people don't want to hear the 10 tips at the beginning anymore. They want to know what.
Right.
Or why. Or how soon.
So you mentioned that there are like 7 E's to creating the key benefits in the pitch. Can you tell us a little bit about what those are?
You know what they are. You throw them at me. You throw them at me, and I'll answer them as if they were, because they are keywords as well.
Absolutely, and I really like the way you broke that down, because when you say to entertain, educate, empower, enlighten, I mean, to break it up and then still have such a short amount of time to get all that in there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So let's just take one off the top of my head. There was, you said lose weight, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's take the first one. The first one was?
Entertain.
Entertain. Okay, so most people will say how to entertain. You know, the how-to is good, but old. So it's right. The first word would be entertain who? Who are you entertaining? Are you entertaining your audience? Are you entertaining an audience of? Are you entertaining an audience of entrepreneurs? 10 tips. You see what I mean?
I do.
You just included all the things even that you weren't even thinking of about entertain. What's the entertain? Is it entertain with moxie? Entertain with, what are you entertaining? You have to follow up with something, because they're gonna think, what is it? Is it a music festival, or what is it? Entertaining, you can put the ing on it. Entertainment, you can add that. Why do you want to put after it, though? That's where you're doubling up on your keywords. Entertainment magazine, entertainment articles, entertainment for the. Do you see what I mean?
Do. I was thinking you meant it the other way around. I didn't realize that you were saying to actually use the word entertain in the title. I almost thought it was find a way to entertain them.
Why do you have to do find a way?
No, not as the title, but in a generalization. Like,
in a generalization,
Right.
Okay, but if you do that, then and you want to use that, discover. Discover is a word that's not used. So find, all those other words are used, right? They're constantly used. So discover. That's not a word that's really used a lot. Discover entertainment tips, or discover ways to entertain your what? Your children, your classmates.
Whatever your audience is for that particular thing. Okay.
Yeah. So you're doing several things. Your keywords are not just the entertainment, but you look for words that are more meaningful nowadays than find 10 tips to. But discover. Discover what? Discover your entertainment. What's the word? Your entertainment vibes, or discover your entertainment legacy. Things like that.
And you mentioned that your pitch should always have some key benefits. So whether it's like a way for them that the audience is going to profit or gain something, or help promote that. You mentioned something about a gimmick.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you before I forget. Profit from entertainment in the office. People are going to say, what? Entertainment in the office? What's she talking about? And then you could have 1, 2, 3. Bring in symphony at lunch. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's kooky, I know, but it's so off the wall that if people start to look at it.
Gotcha.
It's if you were to go into a Barnes & Noble and you look at the magazine rack, start looking at what they have below. You'll see there's less 10 tips to than there is discover or maintain or other words. Find synonyms, find antonyms that would do instead of 10 tips or how to. How to and 10 tips still work, don't misunderstand. But there are so many other words that could be used there that are more vital.
Well, got you with that. That's, because, certain things are done to death, and you do want to stand out.
What's next after entertain?
Educate.
Educate. That's a good first word. Educate yourself on... What's a today thing that's going on? E-games. Is it e-games? Esports. What's an esport? I just watched a program last night where they said that sports, meaning basketball, baseball, football, are going by the wayside. But Watchers are now doing e-sports, meaning the e-games. So they're making e-games of football, of all the other things, and they're doing them, and that's what they're using, because you could do it. You could do it anytime, anywhere, and they make a game out of it. So do you follow me so far?
I do.
Okay. So the games that people are sitting home doing, and their parents are yelling at them, get off your duff and go out and get a job. Stop with the e-games. Right? So esports is now worldwide. People don't have to just watch basketball. They can watch it done as an e-game. And they can bet on it, and they can do all kinds of things.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not just a one-time event and then it's over. It's an ongoing thing.
I see.
Amazing. So if you have a headline, because you now have a new business, what are you going to say with a new headline on something like esports? Are you going to say how to how to do esports? No. What are you going to do? Esports, the new thing. Well, the new thing, but the new game. See, one thing I'm trying to show you you're probably getting this, but it's what you asked me about the 8 tips. I'm putting the first word right out there. I'm putting the word first, as opposed to the how to 10 tips. What if? Oh, what if's good. Discover is good. What if? Because people go, what if what? It's something that actually you don't use very much of. So, as I said, if you get the synonyms in there, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of discover, what if. A new way, too, is also kind of used, but it works somewhat. You want people to know exactly what it is you want from them.
Do you mean in the call of action? In the sense of call of action?
All of these new phrases are calls to action. A headline is a call to action. Only most people make it as just a headline, without specifics, without enticing words. You can use entice as a keyword.
Absolutely.
Entice your mate instead of 10 tips
to keep it hot in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And entice your mate. Yeah.
Enticing bedroom tips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's what we're doing. We're taking those 8 tips that you started with, and instead of saying how to, what if, what is, we're putting that named word right out in front. Entertain your spouse in the bedroom.
That's great. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay? Entertain your children at lunch. Entertain your spouse when he walks through the door.
I'm sure he'd be a happy camper.
Or entertain your spouse on the phone.
Which seems to be a very big thing right now.
It's kooky, but it's working more than just how to.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And so you mentioned something about having a gimmick.
You gotta have a gimmick if you have a gimmick. That was from Gypsy Rose Lee, which was
great play.
Which was a play, which was a movie. So the character is Miss Mazeppa. That's who did it, and her thing was she had hips that she would swing them to the right, to the left, to the back, to the front. She'd stand on her head and swing them, and she had this skirt that had fringe on it, and she had this thing in her hand that she swung around, and she had a ponytail on, so everything was moving all at once, and that was her gimmick. If you have a gimmick, boom, 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 boom. Now, if you can do that, if you can put that in the front line, if you run it, then you have a system, babe. So, so that's what Miss Mazeppa did. So that's what I'm asking you people to do is to get these 8 things in a line and make it work for you.
There's so many angles, I think, when it comes to PR, and I think that's what baffles us so much, us laymen that are not PR professionals. And it's like, okay, that there producers and media people are getting slammed with a million different pieces of paper or however they're getting emails through their desk every day. It's like, how do you stand out so that they pick up yours to say, oh, yeah, I want to get you booked on the show, and I want to write about you or whatever, interview you, what have you.
Keywords. Keywords.
Right.
Fast and furious. Meaningful keywords.
You mentioned something about you have a new program, Creating Gratitude.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. Gratitude. Glatitude. Gratitude. There are a lot of people out there who understand what gratitude is, right?
Absolutely.
They say, oh, I'm grateful for this, oh, I'm grateful for that, and they're miserable. Despite the fact they're grateful, They're miserable. Why are they miserable? They can't move past the footprint that stops after gratitude. I want them to feel gratitude for the gratitude, not gratitude for the gratitude. I want them to move beyond. What happens is that people get stuck. This is a well-known fact. They get stuck. Either they stick themselves or they get stuck by others or by things, people, places, things, and they can't move forward. I want to help them move forward. I've always wanted to help them move forward when they come, as in PR, when they would come to me, that's what we would work on, is going forward and doing the best PR that you could do. But there's more than me just doing it for them. They have to also know how to do it for when they're out at a book signing or they're on the road and somebody says, do you have something else to do? Can you do something? We know about that. You got something else? You have to be able to really just jump right in with keywords as we're talking and say, oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Instead of, oh, I only brought these 8 things to do, and this is what I have. I've heard that, and I'm standing there with them on the tour, and I'm going, that's not what we said. That's not what we. Can I talk to you for a moment, please? Can you just move over here? That's not what we talked about. We said, whatever happens, if you need to move right in there. Oh, yeah, but I'm stuck. So you don't want to be stuck. You want to have it, even if it's on a piece of paper written or something in front of you. You don't even want to get stuck yourself. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why. That's why gratitude. I want to move you out of your there's more to life than just gratitude. Gratitude. Even listen to how it sounds.
That sounds great. How long of a program is that?
That's a good question. As long as it takes.
So, is this something that you work with them one-on-one with that, or is this something that's pre-recorded that they can download it and listen to different tapes on it, or how does that work?
Oh, thank you for asking. Actually, I do live. I do groups live. So I do them here in Phoenix, or we move around, whoever wants to have me come to their neighborhood. We do that live. Average of about 15, 20 people play off of each other. That's a good one. Do creative visualizations, do neuro-linguistic programming, keywords, etc. Do that. Get them into where they can move, where they can glide, where they can slide instead of staying stuck. Okay, and so yes, we're in the process of recording this, but it's available if you just want to do a one-on-one on me, and I say, well, what are you stuck? What are you stuck on? Who are you stuck on? Could be yourself, could be your boss, could be lots of things. So we go through that, we narrow that down, and then we work on it from there. It goes just like that.
I can imagine, because we are always in need of. I'm a huge believer in constant, never-ending learning, and you do have to stay fresh. You have to stay on top of stuff, because I always say you got to keep that fire under your ass. Excuse the expression, but really,
Did you say keep the fire under your ass?
Yes. Under your butt.
How about if you change it?
I like that.
Yeah, because I'm serious about this. Because keep it under your ass, and people go, yeah, sure, okay. But if you do a pattern interrupt, and you say keep the fire under that ass. Oh,
I like that.
Look at this one. Wow, yeah, okay. I can change my asking. That's one of the things, actually. It's funny that you said that, because it's one of the things that I teach in this program of gratitude.
Oh, funny.
Yeah,
awesome.
You're changing your ask.
Well, if you don't ask, you don't receive, right? So.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's part of the gimmick. Asking is part of the gimmick. You
Funny, I never heard that.
Gimmick, So you ask for the gimmick, you get the gimmick, man. You get it.
I love that.
Yeah, good. Anybody else there? Anything else?
You have so many wonderful programs here. If somebody is interested in signing up for one of your special packages, what's the best place for them to find you?
480-488-4840. I repeat, 480-488-4840. Or at get this, Raleigh at Gratitude on gettinggratitude.com. So it's RALEIGH, like in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the rest of it is Getting Gratitude, GettingGlatitude.com. Getting Gratitude. I want everybody to go out and make an effort for getting gratitude. Not get gratitude, but getting gratitude. I want you to be in the getting gratitude mood.
So what would be one takeaway for our listeners today? If they want to step into gratitude, what's the first thing they should do?
They should say to themselves, I want to go forward. I don't want to be stuck anymore. And say that. They don't have to say it as a mantra. I don't want them to be walking across the street and whoop. I really want them to have gratitude. Getting gratitude does not require being stuck in that way. But getting gratitude, just thinking about it. Think about getting gratitude, what happens when you have that gratitude, when you can go forward, when you can have those keywords just come to you, when you no longer are stumped or stopped or stuck, the 3 S's that I love to say. Stumped, stuck, and I just tripped over my tongue. But it's not as hard as people make it to be. Getting stuck, being stuck is not as hard as it seems. There are reasons why, and I help you get over those reasons, get into those reasons so that you can get over those reasons. And it works.
So it's almost like a hypnosis without the hypnosis.
You might say that. You might call it hypnosis. You can call it neuro-linguistic programming. You could call it creative visualization. You can call it a lot of things. And when we're doing it, I have 2 portions to it. One is going through the first part of finding out what it is that has made you stuck, that makes you stuck, that doesn't allow you to go forward. And then the second part of it is doing a vision board. So that you can vision yourself further, over, beyond, sliding, not slipping. All of these things. And it's amazing, the smiles. Oh, it's wonderful. And it doesn't take a long time.
It's great. I mean, vision boards are very, very instrumental. They've always been in my life, and also with journals. And I tell a lot of my clients to definitely start a journal, because when you have these really crazy days, right, and everything seems like the world is coming to an end, when you write down those beautiful little things that happen, that maybe you see a cardinal fly right in front of your eyes, or, you see a rainbow in the sky, I say write those things down, or take pictures of those things and put them out in magazines and put them in a journal. Are you familiar with the photographer Peter Beard?
Oh, yes.
Yes. He used to do photography for the models back in the 70s, and then he went off to Africa and lived out there for a while. But then he moved back to the States, and he opened up a an art gallery in Soho, New York, and he kept his journals in there in these cases. And I was floored when I first saw them because I used to just do like handwritten journals, but he would create these visual journals, and he would just have all these clippings in there, and I was just so astonished by them. I was so inspired that I immediately started doing mine that way. And now when I look at them, it's like I've got this huge book of 1 year's worth of everything I did that year, and I look at it visually to say, oh my, sometimes I don't have to write anything. I could just put the pictures in there of the things that I did, and you know that, like, wow, that was pretty good. Especially when you're getting down on yourself, woe is me, it was a bad week, and then you pull it out and you look at that, and it just really makes you smile.
I agree, 100%. It's awesome. It's awesome. And one of the other things about it is that, you know, pictures of the mind, you know, putting just even words. If you can't draw, you can't take pictures, you feel, you know, you start with the mind, and before you know it, oh my goodness, you're able to make pictures.
It's true. So true.
I love it. I just love it.
Well, Raleigh, I know we're getting close to the end of our call, and I just I really want everybody who's listening out there, if you haven't already, please check out Raleigh's programs. They are phenomenal. Her books are phenomenal. I love that you have them now on MP3s as well as ebooks, so if you want to digitally download something, you can. And I want to thank you so much for being here tonight, because I know it is a very busy weekend for you, and you have a million things going on. So.
Yes, and I want to just make a correction. I said it was getting gratitude. It's creating gratitude. I have two of them, and the one that I used to like, the one I like to use the most is creating gratitude.
So that's Raleigh at creatinggratitude.com.
Correct.
Awesome. I will also put that in the show notes for listeners too, in case they didn't have a chance to write it down. They can look at the show notes. It'll be in there as well, as well as a link to your other your RaleighPinskey.com has a store on there as well, doesn't it?
Yes, and Raleigh at RaleighPinskey.com is my website.
Perfect.
So yeah, we go there. Creating Gratitude is not up as a website yet, but it will be within about 2 months.
Okay, great.
We're just into the concept of it. Beautiful. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Do you ever get to the Tampa area at all?
Sometimes not in a while, but I will be going. I'll be going out soon, so I'll make sure that we do a Tampa.
Sounds good.
Thank you for putting up with me.
It gives my pleasure. I just can't wait to. I mean, I have to pick up some more of the of your packages, because you are so inspirational. You really are, and
that's sweet.
Everything that you say is
You're
so
a
true.
Winner. Just remember that. Yeah, I saw you as a winner. I really did.
That was the sweetest thing. Thank you so much for saying that.
Okay.
So for you listen, I'm sorry. Yes, and please, when you come to Tampa, give me a call, and I'll take you out to a couple of fun places.
It's a deal. But if you're in Las Vegas area, let me know.
I will. I actually just had a call with David Bowie's drummer, who is in Vegas right now doing a show called Rock of Ages as the drummer there. And
yes. David Bowie was a client of mine.
Get out of town. Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
Yeah, 1980.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Sting, Kiss, Bowie, Blondie, all those people were my clients then in those days. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you rock, girl.
I'm sending you hugs, big hugs, big hugs, big hugs.
Same here.
Thank you.
Bye,
everybody. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye. And thank you to our listeners out there today. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't have a show if it weren't for you. And don't forget to check out The Little Drummer Girl with Dawn Marie Mutel at YouTube. for any video footage. The link is below in the show notes. And please, if you like the show, please subscribe and share it with your friends. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. And remember, it's never too late to begin to live the life of your dreams and leave a trail blazing behind you. Rock on and rock out, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Namaste.